Hello, nerds! Thank you for watching Generally Nerdy. This is your Week in Nerddom Comic Books edition for the week of February 19th, 2018. Again, I feel like I want to switch those in my head, and I'm grateful that I didn't. This week in comic book news, we've got Wolverine updates, we've got Superman updates, and we've got Batman updates. So let's get into the intro so we can get to the news.
Quiet on the set, rolling.
Hi, I am Bitsy Telek.
Hey, I'm Hale Appleman.
I'm Walter Kane.
I'm Rene Aubergenois. Odo on Deep Space Nine.
Michael Dorn, Lieutenant Commander Worf, Star Trek The Next Generation.
Come and see me and hear me and talk to me and listen to me talk about myself.
Hey man, this is Kevin Smith, often considered generally nerdy, and you are listening to what is often considered generally nerdy.
On Generally Nerdy.
You're listening to
Generally Nerdy.
Generally Nerdy.
Generally nerdy.
This week's comic book news update is brought to you by teespring.com/store/generally-nerdy. That is the place where you can go get this one or the other ones. All of the funny shirts are up on the teespring.com. So we're going to focus this week on the advertiser-friendly shirt. It's the shirt that says, I don't do this for the money. I do this for your mom. Jump over to teespring.com/store/generally-nerdy to get your advertiser-friendly shirt right now, and then let's jump into the news. Okay, so comic books is a little shorter this week. Only have 3, but they're kind of 3 big ones. So, stick with me for a minute. The first bit is Wolverine. So originally, the resurrection of Wolverine, if you will, the rebirth, however you want to call it. We thought we were only going to get one little mini-series that was going to give us heaps of information, and then the rest of the information we're going to have to parse together from other stories that he was guest starring in and that he was appearing in, and so on and so forth, and yada yada yada. But just announced this week that we are going to get 4 different mini-series that are going to give us heaps of information, and then the rest of it is going to be, as we said before. So the Hunt for Wolverine is 4 more rather. Hunt for Wolverine is the one that we already know is coming. The new ones, and they're all going to be told in a different style of storytelling as well. The new ones, we have Weapon Lost by Charles Soule, which is going to be a noir style story. We have the Adamantium Agenda, which is an action-adventure story by Tom Taylor and R.B. Silva. We have Claws of a Killer, which is going to be a horror story, which is going to probably be my favorite because I really feel like that character lends himself very well to a horror-style story. That one's going to be by... I do really bad with Asian names, so give me a second. Mariko Tamaki, so sorry if I am mispronouncing that, and Butch Geis. And then Mystery and Madripoor is going to be a dark romance story. I don't know, I guess that makes sense with Wolverine, right? Because he's always has issues with women, so that makes sense. That one's going to be by Jim Zub and Chris Bacallo. So a lot of Wolverine is coming down the pike, and we're just going to eat it up and discuss as it comes out. So keep your ears open, jump down to your local comic book store and grab them as they come out. And as we get closer to their release dates, we will definitely talk more about them. Next, though, we have an update from Action Comics Special number 1. It's going to be 3 stories, but on the cover, and this is the one that we're talking about the most. The cover implies anyway that Superman is going to be a little mad at Lex. Looks like he's going to kill Lex. He's not going to kill Lex because it's freaking Superman, but that's what they're trying to imply with the cover artwork, which you should be seeing on your screen. The synopsis. So the name of the story is going to be The Last Will and Testament of Lex Luthor. It's written by Dan Jurgens, so it's not Brian Michael Bendis, because Brian Michael Bendis is taking over Superman very, very soon. This is just not one of his stories. The synopsis for the story is as follows. Beginning with the events of Rebirth, Superman's greatest enemy became his most unexpected ally. Is Lex finally on a heroic path, or is he still hiding his true colors? When he finds himself in an adventure where Superman could be destroyed, what will he do? Save the Man of Steel or witness his demise at the hands of an unimaginable enemy? So the synopsis doesn't even allude to it. Just the artwork alludes to it, and that's what's got fans up in a tizzy is Superman can't kill. Superman doesn't kill. Well, he's not gonna kill because it's freaking Lex Luthor, so his main villain will never be dead. No matter how many times the Joker is dead, quote unquote, he always comes back, and likewise with Lex for Superman. So keep your panties on, everything's fine, nerds. And then our last bit of comic book news this week is Batman. We are about to get a civil war with the Bat family. We talked about Clay. Spoiler alert, if you haven't yet to read these books, then go out to your local comic book shop, grab up Clay, and grab up issue number 974 of Batman, and catch up, or you can just listen to the spoilers and be caught up. So we talked about Clay, we talked about 973, and at the end of 974, Batwoman kills Clayface. Dead. Turns into a pile of cold, dead clay, and Batman dismisses her. But when he does that, Red Hood and Batwing come to her side and say, she did what any police officer would have done in that situation because Clayface was rampaging and basically unstoppable, and she found a way to stop him, so why are you mad? And Robin, not even Batman, came up with the response of, we're better than that. That's not how we conduct our business. And so that's where that issue ends, is the death of Clayface and the Bat family basically at odds. So we have Batwoman, Red Hood, and Batwing are on one side, and then the rest of the Bat family, so Red Robin, Spoiler, Batgirl, Batman, all of them on the other side. So it's basically 5 against 3, and Batman's on the side with the more numbers. That seems like it's going to be a short story arc, but still very interesting because this is a big issue with current fans. If you haven't been reading Batman for more than a decade or so, then a lot of those fans that fall into that category have an issue with the fact that he never kills. He goes out of his way to make sure that the villains that he's fighting don't die. And the argument against that is, well, he could stop a lot of deaths of innocent people if he would just take out one of his villains, primarily the Joker. And he won't, and it's part of his psychosis, and it's part of his character, and it's also, like Robin said at the end of 974, it's what makes them better. It's why they are allowed to continue to operate in Gotham effectively, because the police know that they're not going to break that law, at least. They're not going to end somebody's life, and when they do, then they become as bad as the people they're fighting. And so this is going to be kind of a hashing out of that argument, it would seem. So it is a story arc that is needed. I feel like they could have balanced it a little bit more, because it looks like going into this, it's super unbalanced. Like Damian could have sided with Batwoman, because when we first got introduced to Damian, that was his whole shtick, was you could be so much stronger if you would kill your enemies. And so, again, it feels like they could at least have lost Damian and then balanced the sides a lot better. But that is not the way they did it, so we can only read what happens next. And that is going to be the end of this comic books edition for the week, guys. What did I miss? What should we talk about next week? Definitely let me know in the comments down below. If you want to go deeper into this conversation, jump over to the website, generallynerdy.net. You can find all the freebies, you can find all the social media links up on the website, generallynerdy.net. If you're new to the channel, click the subscribe button. If you like this episode, click the like button. If you're falling behind on your nerd news and you want to catch up, click or tap right there to the left of my face to do that. But before you go, always remember that if it's generally nerdy, it's probably here.